Heyo guys, welcome to a brand new episode of the Bunny Network where we continue to play with the colors. Some time ago I made this canvas using only yellow and it pushed me a bit out of my comfort zone, but I love this so much I decided to make it a series. So in today's episode we're gonna make a new canvas using only pink. First things first, I'll put on some music to get the ideas flowing smoothly. At this stage I need to come up with a concept for the drawing. I'll grab my sketchbook and try to come up with an idea that looks good on canvas. It took a while but I finally landed on a concept I like. Now that I have a direction, I'll grab my tablet and work on the final version of the drawing. I always create a digital version of the drawing before transferring to the canvas. This helps me get a clear idea of placement and colors without the risk of making any mistakes. Not only that, but it's also much faster and it's also a great method if you plan to print your artwork later. Procreate is perfect for this because it has a wide variety of brushes to choose from and is super easy to learn. That said, you can use any drawing software and get similar results. Just make sure to work at a high resolution so that the drawing doesn't come out pixelated and it prints out well. Alright, we're almost done, I'll print it out and we can move on to the next step. Here's what the printed design looks like. Since I chose it to make it digitally, all I have to do is position it on the canvas and everything will fit just right. Now that we have the outline ready, we can transfer the drawing to the canvas. For this, we'll need transfer paper and of course the sketch. I'm going to use some masking tape to keep it from moving while I trace the sketch. Then I'll use a pen to trace the outline exactly as it appears on the print. I think this is the fastest and most accurate transfer method as long as you're careful about what you trace. For this project, I've chosen a central character dressed in baggy clothes, captured in a moment of creativity. Around it, I've added some abstract elements and a secondary character on the right side. I love this composition and I cannot wait to see how it transfers onto the canvas. I've tried to make the main character very expressive, giving the happy vibe that matches the chosen colors. Okay, the moment we've been waiting for, let's flip it and see how it turned out. Now that I've traced everything carefully, we can move on to the next step. The image transferred perfectly, all the details are in place, now we're ready for the colors. For today's drawing, I'll be using acrylic markers. Especially love using those soft tip markers because they're really smooth. As the title suggests, today's color is pink, so I picked out all the shades of pink I have and I hope the results will be amazing. Usually I use a wide variety of colors in my drawings, but I really enjoyed the last canvas where I work with yellow, so I decided to try the same approach in today's episode. I only have a limited palette, so it forces me to think more carefully about which shade to use. Pink is such a versatile color and depending on how you combine it, you can create a variety of moods and emotions in a painting. For this piece, I've chosen a bright pink as the base and mixed it with pastel tones and darker accents for the detail. The contrast between those colors really makes the characters pop. These shades of pink give the drawing a funky vibe and I'm already excited to see how it will look once we get to the outline stage. Right now, I'll fill the base color. There aren't too many elements, but I need to be careful to place the colors in a way that makes the design stand out. I've used various markers, but as I said, I prefer the brush tip ones. Not only they're affordable, but they also have great opacity. I use acrylic paint because it dries quickly, adheres to many surfaces, and is very easy to find. I really try to use colors as a storytelling tool, and pink really gave me the opportunity to create an optimistic and lively atmosphere. Each stroke of pink contributes to a narrative, giving the characters and the elements their unique personality and presence. If you enjoy this type of content and want to see more, don't forget to hit the notification bell to stay updated on everything I post. The process is moving much faster than I expected, and it's looking great so far. I hope you think so too. The design is starting to take shape and I cannot wait to add the darker tones to bring it to life. Once I finish applying the base colors, I'll move on to the details. I've added shadows to give depth to the characters and the other elements. The fine details on the central character's clothes have been enhanced with darker shades of pink that will give a more 3D look. At this stage, I want to make sure my elements don't look flat. It's a bit trickier on canvas since we don't have layers like in Procreate. So I have to add the shadows and highlights before doing the outline, which means I need to be precise about their placement to ensure they look good later. For now, it looks pretty nice. Finally, I finished coloring the design and it looks amazing. And I gotta say, I'm really glad I used pink for this project. Now all that's left to do is the outline. So let's not waste any more time and get to work. For the outline, I'll be using Posca markers in various sizes, and I found this darker shade that looks fantastic against the colors I've used so far. I'll start with the main character and work my way through the rest of the outlines. To me, maintaining a balance between thick and thin lines is essential for giving the artwork a sense of movement. This part of the process is probably the most stressful but also the most rewarding. With every line I draw, the piece starts coming together beautifully. I love how the outline color enhances the entire drawing, making it stand out, complementing the other colors perfectly. It's so satisfying to finish outlining an element and see how it all connects seamlessly. And I'd like to hear from you, what colors would you like to see featured in future paintings? Drop your suggestions in the comment section below. Projects like this, where I can let my creativity flow and work at a quicker pace, are some of my favorites. I'm also working on building a collection of pieces for a future art show. It's still in a concept phase and it will take some time, but it's definitely something to keep in mind. But for now, let's see how this drawing shapes up. I've been aiming to create clean, smooth lines as close as possible to the digital version. I've always wanted my lines in real life to be as flawless as my digital ones, though there is still room for improvement. But that's what it's all about, right? Trial and error. There's always space to grow, so if it doesn't work out perfectly the first time, don't be discouraged, just keep going. It will come up together eventually. I'm almost done with the main character, with just a few finishing touches on the roller before I can move on to the background elements. I want everything to look as smooth as possible, so I'll be extra careful here. Curved lines are always the trickiest for me, and of course that's mostly what I have left left to draw. Well, lucky me I guess, right? But with a bit of patience, I think I can make them just as clean as the other ones. The drawing is starting to take shape, and after a quick cleanup, we can move on to the highlights. For this, I'll be using lighter colors to add more depth to the characters and elements. There are a few areas that need some touches, and those highlights will really help bring the characters to life. Okay, so we're almost at the finish line. The lines are clean and the contrast is exactly what I was aiming for. I'll do a final check to ensure everything is in one place before we hang it up on the wall. Alright guys, we're done, the drawing is complete and it came together pretty quickly. Now all I have in mind is starting another one. But until that there's some time left, so for now let's see those cool reveal shots. That's it for today's episode guys, thank you so much for watching and I hope you learned something along the way. This is what the finished picture looks like, I really love it and I'll definitely continue making this series. So if you wanna stay updated, don't forget to subscribe. Also, I'm looking forward to your feedback in the comment section below. So until next time, see you right here on the Bunny Network.